Welcome back, everybody. My name is Gregtech, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So I've been doing a little bit of work between the last video and this video. Namely, I did everything necessary in order to complete the extreme circuits, crafting the other 7 processor assemblies, and then gathering up enough platinum, electrum, some wafers for the random access memory chips, and then all the mess that goes into creating the plastic circuit boards. I do enjoy using the polyvinyl chloride in order to make the plastic circuit boards, since it is 2-to-1 when it comes to making the initial plastic boards that you then use copper in order to create this plastic circuit board. This board right here, this plastic circuit board, I like to use this one right now, which is the PVC sheet, in order to get 2 for your sulfuric acid and copper foil, versus the standard, which would be the polyethylene sheets, and the same amount of other stuff in order to get 1 plastic circuit board. I don't have the setup yet to do PTFE, so I couldn't do that one. And then I also don't have this polybenzimidazole plate. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that one. That's the limit of my chemistry knowledge. In any case, what I am working on now, so I initially thought by the time I got to these workstation circuits, it was going to want me to come make the vacuum freezer. And instead, it is having me make the advanced circuit assembling machine. So I've gone ahead and I'm following the HV quest due to some people in the Discord channel telling me that this leads further along than just the vacuum freezer. So I'm going along with this one. Here is the advanced circuit assembling machine. And there we are with that quest reward. And then it wants me to make the main frames. The first IV circuits you can make in HV. Wow. Okay, so that's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that it was actually going to have me make IV stuff. The only problem with making the IV stuff is that this guy right here, you have to do in a clean room, which means that somehow or other I need to get HV power in here. That may mean knocking out another wall and letting it clean itself. Alternatively, I do have 3 MV power. I could possibly put a transformer in here just to get the HV power. I haven't really decided yet. If I do go for an HV power, though, not only am I going to have to make an HV power hatch, an HV hull, which isn't too hard, but I also will need to make a better gas turbine. I would need to make the turbo gas turbine, and that guy requires some of the HV chips, the steel rotors, the HV machine hull, and 2 HV electric motors. So these guys are getting to be rather expensive. The electrum and the silver make it cost 4 gold ingots and 6 silver ingots per electric motor. So I am running dangerously low on gold. I'm going to need to go find another gold vein and possibly go up and work on my crops in the farm in order to get more of the Aurelia crops, so that I can use the chemical whatever this thing is, chemical reactor, and do like I'm doing with Galvania, only with gold. And you can actually use magnetite ore in here and get out 4 purified gold ore, which is pretty nice. It's nice that it's got a little bit of an alchemical property in making gold there. And so I'm going to need to do one of those 2 things in order to get more gold. Silver itself, I have a fair bit of silver, but not a ton. I will probably end up having to go to the Twilight Forest and getting that set up as well. So those are on my list to do. As you can see, I have been making progress. I went ahead and accepted all the quest rewards. A little bit, maybe at the end of this video or maybe in the next video, I have enough loot bags now that I'm willing to do another loot bag day. day and see what kind of loot we can accumulate out of the loot bags that I've been able to collect so far. I've got a fairly sizable chunk of them, with I think at least half of them being the HV, the tier 4 stuff. So I've got 2 from the Steam Age, 5 from tier 2, 18 from tier 3, 26 from tier 4, 6 from doing some of the food quests, and then another 6 from doing some of the other food quests. So probably have a loot bag day at some point going on in order to go through those loot bags and see what kind of stuff we can get. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and cut away here, and I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I am back once more. I've collected all the pieces needed to make that IV circuit mainframe. So I'm going to take this down into the clean room real quick. Let's see, I am going to need to bring with me tin, lead, 2 things of soldering alloy. So let's go ahead and pick... I don't like using that guy. I want the other one. And I think he's already down in there. Yep, there it is. And then I need 2 things of soldering alloy. There we go. Put this guy right back there. And then there are my 2 soldering alloy. Go ahead and pick that. Oh, wait a second. That stuck it over there. All right. I don't want to do it that way. Come here. Put you there. Take out this. There we go. This thing comes in so much handy when you accidentally stick fluids into other fluid containers in their input slots instead of just losing those materials. There we go. Put that in there. 2 of those, 16, 16, 16, and 12. Oh, right. I forgot. This is the HV version. So what I need to do is I'm going to need to pull the fluid back out. And for the time being, since this is the clean room, what I'm going to do instead is I am going to take one of my batteries and I will use my advanced circuit assembler while it's inside the clean room. So we'll do this, that. We'll power it like this and then take all this stuff and put it in here like this. So there we go. We'll let that run. How much power does this thing need? It needs half a battery. Okay, so the battery will take care of it. One other thing I did want to show off. It's been taking me a while to get this stuff up and running. I've kind of showed off my bee houses outside, but today I originally had a pure common princess, but I did not have a pure common drone. Due to some of the way the randomization works, I ended up losing my pure common princess. It reverted back to a meadows princess, even though I had a common meadows. It's the worst luck in the world. In any case, I then did a couple of more, and I was able to get a pure cultivated queen, and I had 2 pure cultivated drones. So I've now put those guys in, and I'm going to start duplicating my drones with my cultivated queen. I need to do this somewhat quickly. I mean, 22 generations in captivity is not bad for an ignoble, but I want to get the drones out so that I can go get one of my pure princesses, like a meadows or even a modest princess, and make a pristine cultivated bee, and that will be nice. I slowly work on the little bits of the tropical bees in order to, yeah, and that's what happens when I'm too close to them for too long. I'm working on the pure cultivated, or sorry, the pure tropical bees so that I can get the apiaries outfit so that things like this don't happen to me anymore. And then I've taken an ignoble forest queen that I've never touched before, and I'm trying to get some of the, I have in there right now I put in a Meadows common drone, and so I'm going to try and get back to a common princess and a common drone, just like what I'm doing with the cultivated. So those are my somewhat long-term goals. You can see I've been doing a little bit of progress on it, but it's kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh crud, I need to go switch those guys out. The tropicals are on an automatic cycle with a hopper and a restrictive pipe, and so they are constantly recycling, trying to get those combs in order to get the wispy silks and try and make that apiaries outfit. So yeah, that should just about be done over here now. And there it is. There is the IV circuit mainframe. And what did that unlock? That doesn't look like it unlocked anything. So let's see, multi-block goals. Nothing new there. Huh, interesting. Well, I'm going to have to see what I can, if anything else has opened up. Nothing's opened up in the EV or the IV blocks. So I'll dig around, see what's going on, and start planning further quests. One thing I did do, I went to the space race. I went ahead and got my 12 basic wafers. Unfortunately, it wants you to make advanced wafers, which require the glowstone doped wafers, and those things I cannot make because of the way the setup is. I can't make the glowstone doped monocrystalline silicon until after I have Canthal coils, and I can't do Canthal coils until after I get the vacuum freezer. So I'm going to see where this thinks it wants me to go. Otherwise, I may need to start making 3 more of the EV workstations in order to make my vacuum freezer in order to get along down that route. So I'll bring you back in once I've got a little bit more either planned out or figured out, and we'll go from there. Alright, I am back one last time. I wasn't able to figure out what the game exactly wanted me to do, so I did go ahead and rather than just make 3 of the EV workstations for the vacuum freezer, I went and made 8. The reason being that I figured if anything else I can use the other 4 in order to make a distillery tower. I would like to make a distillery tower anyway, just because, or a distillation tower anyway, just because the oil, you get better results from the oil with it, and so if nothing else I will consume a ton of stainless steel and use up 4 of these guys and make the distillation tower. I think it's a 3 or a 4 high one. Anyway, the one that I can basically start using with oil in order to get some of the better byproducts from that. In any case, I finished up everything I needed in order to get the vacuum freezer. So there is my vacuum freezer complete. And there now it wants me to make the Canthal coils. Did it open up anything else over here? I don't see anything else opened up over here, but once I get the Canthal coils, I can do this glowstone doped monocrystalline silicon. Silicon? Yeah. And so I will probably sit down, figure out where I want to place it. I think it's going to go somewhere right over here, maybe so that as I build in a wall, it can hide inside the wall. It also, just because of the way the lines run, I may end up sticking it over here near the clean room, but the clean room, for all intents and purposes, it will either grow upwards or maybe grow out, but that will be definitely for a later date. So I will get this thing set up, and I will catch you guys in the next video where hopefully I will be on my way, if not already done, making the Canthal coils. Till then.